Good morning, everybody. So, a little update on the tank. We have had two deceased fish. So our powder blue tang died. He got flukes within like 24 hours. It killed him. And then our mandarin goby that we had, our lovely snowflake eel, confused him for food and took a chunk out of its head, so I'm pretty sure that was what killed him. I set some food in there. So typically what I do whenever I feed the eel is I'll feed him directly from the top, and then if I feed him at night, because I kind of rotate it just to, never make him wait or never really have it to be set to where, maybe it gets out of order or something like that. But I'll feed him, on Mondays in the morning or Thursdays at night or vice versa. And just change it up a little bit just so that it doesn't get so boring. But anyways, I usually feed him at the top, and then I'll drop a couple scraps in there at night to where if he's, swimming around, burns off a little bit of energy, gets hungry, then he has that and he can eat it. Well, I think that a piece of the food might have been next to the goby, and the eel then in turn took a bite out of its head accidentally and killed him. So we are on the verge of adding some new fish. We're going to wait a little bit, especially after the powder blue tang had flukes. We're going to wait until we do get a UV sterilizer to add any more tangs. I think now we may just kind of focus on some other fish other than tangs. We've been talking about a lionfish and a triggerfish, but we might do that in 30-gallon instead. Maybe do like a small little predatory tank. We'll get a small lionfish and a small trigger. Not too sure yet. We'll have to wait and see when we actually get those fish on what we end up deciding to do. But other than that, everything else is going really good in the tank. The hammer has been doing great. It's actually grown an extra head. When we first got it, it only had one, and it has now split into two. This one has been doing good. You can see kind of towards the back here where they had cut off another head. So hopefully this one will eventually grow another one. The Duncan is doing great. You can kind of see right up under there. It's growing another head. Sorry, Siri, on my Apple Watch, retarded. And then the rockflower anemone, it's doing good as well. I tried getting it to come out, and that way I could put it somewhere on the sand or somewhere else. But it loves that spot, so it has not got up and moved from there since it put itself there. So we'll just leave it. We've got both of our clowns in here. I did actually move this guy right here to the 30-gallon just to have a fish in there for the time being, but we moved him back just because we felt like maybe he was lonely and bored. So now we have the two clowns in here and the eel. We still have the sea urchin. We still have the starfish, all of our crabs and snails. I actually saw we have a tiger conch, and it doesn't come out very often. I actually saw it yesterday. Completely forgot we even had the thing, but he's still alive and still in there. We did redo the rockscape. I actually had it as where there was like a big arch here, and then nothing really over here. It was just all kind of built up in the middle. I didn't like it very much, and also it made me a little nervous with Olaf, our snowflake eel, possibly bumping into one of the rocks and then it all just collapsing throughout the night or whenever we're not home, and then hurting him, hurting the corals or anybody else that's, in the vicinity. So changed it up, which I think Olaf likes this a lot more because he likes to come over here and like poke his head out and then curl up in there and just chill. And then it also gives the fish a little bit more to swim in and out of and hide a little bit. Because when we put the other clownfish back in here, he actually was hiding in this rock for like 2 days. So, but he's back out and swimming. And he's actually been swimming, I don't know if you can kind of see him. He's been swimming up here. For some odd reason, it's almost like he's hosted the top of where the filter's at. Because he'll swim up there, and then he'll swim upside down, and then he'll swim right side up, and then he'll come out for food, and then he swims around for a few hours. I don't know. He's weird. I think maybe something's wrong with him mentally. I don't know. But either way, everything else is doing great. The lights, we actually installed those lights the last video, and they have been working perfect. The corals love them. I mean, this guy looks great. You know, so do these two. We actually do have another Zoa. We have a Zoa that we have to go pick up. I forget the name. It's Hawaiian something, Hawaiian Ding Dang or something like that. But we're gonna put it somewhere right here. Thinking about making Olaf's Cave a little Zoa garden. So, but other than that, all the corals have been doing great. Everybody else has been doing good. We've got a little bit of food build up here. Our sand sifting starfish that we have has actually been taking care of it pretty freaking well. And you can see there's a piece of dead fish right there. I need to get that out, but which that's probably what happened to the goby. Something like that was laying there. He went for it, and goby was right there as well and was attacked. So, and we still have a couple straggler crabs. I think at one point we bought like 10 and put them in there, and then now we've only seen like 3 or 4 occasionally. So, but everybody's doing great. Everybody's doing solid. The clownfish are happy. Olaf has actually, I think he's gained maybe an inch, and he's definitely gotten fatter. So he's turned into a thick boy. And like I said, I feed him twice a week. Sometimes I'll feed him 3 times. And see, the clown came down from the filter. He's weird. I really don't know. But sometimes I'll feed him 3 times a week, depending on what I feed him in the beginning of the week, because I feed him krill and silverback. And so, you know, if he seems to be acting hungry, then, you know, I'll give him a couple bites of some krill, and then, you know, I'll do that on like Wednesday. And then if I do feed him on a Wednesday or Tuesday, then I'll push his next feeding day out till like Friday or Saturday. So just depends on if he gets hungry. And I can always tell whenever he's hungry, because he'll swim up to like right here, and he'll just stay here for like a minute or 2 waiting for me to come and give him food. And then I'll make him some food, and he'll eat a little bit and then go back into his cave and just chill. So, but as of right now, that's kind of where we sit. We're going to take it a little bit easier on the tangs for a little bit. Honestly, after the powder blue got flukes and died, I kind of turned off by the tangs for a little bit. I know I still want to get a rabbit fish, the fox face, and we've been looking at some wrasses as well, and the lionfish, the triggerfish. A part of me wants to make this a really cool like predatory reef tank. I've seen videos and seen other people's aquariums where they've had a full reef tank, and they've had lionfish, they've had triggers, and haven't had any problems. So thinking about maybe just making this somewhat of a predatory tank. We're going to get a Volatin lionfish, the store that we get them from. They can get a small one. He's about, you know, maybe 2 inches or so, if not maybe 3 or 4. So not too big. But we'll probably get one of those, and then that way it's small enough that we can get some other fish that might be a little bit bigger than him, to where he can't fit them into his mouth and eat them. And then the triggerfish, we'll get either a tiny or a small. Whenever they're, you know, in the smaller size, they're a little bit more calm from what I've heard. So hopefully then it'll grow up with the rest of the fish and be easygoing. But, you know, they are wild animals. You never know what could happen. Anything can happen. So, but more to come on those updates for sure. I'm going to probably go today to get the other Zoa. We'll get it glued there. I might post a short showing the Zoa, so keep an eye out for that. But other than that, when we get some more corals and some more fish, we'll continue to update everybody and post more videos. But thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.